On March 30th, the next standard format rotation will take place on Pokemon TCG Live, removing all cards with the D block marker in the bottom left. This means that nearly every card from the first year of Sword and Shield will become unavailable in Standard, save for cards like Boss's Orders and Professor's Research that have received a reprint resetting their legality. For competitive players, you'll see cards like Quick Ball, Evolution Incense, Aurora Energy, Shady Dealings Drizzile and Inteleon, Crobat V, and much more disappear from the format. Essentially, if the card came out in Sword and Shield base set, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Champion's Path, Vivid Voltage, or Shining Fates, there's a 99% chance that it will no longer be playable in Standard. As you'd expect, rotation will have a huge impact on the 8 free decks you receive by default for simply playing Pokemon TCG Live. For example, Zacian's Zamazenta, Decidueye Inteleon, and Inteleon VMAX won't even be playable in Standard anymore, leaving us with just 5 of the 8 free decks left over. So in the next few videos, I'll go through each of them one by one, showing you how to effectively upgrade Blissey V, Rapid Strike Malamar, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and Suicune V, so you can continue using them in Standard throughout 2023. In the first video of this free deck upgrade series, we have Blissey V. On screen right now is the Blissey deck you currently get for free by booting up Live. It's not great and would need a little work even in the current format. And this is what will happen to the free Blissey V deck when rotation happens on March 30th. As you can see, Blissey takes a huge hit, losing Quick Ball, Powerful Energy, Hyper Potion, Cape of Toughness, and Capture Energy. Honestly, I can't say Blissey necessarily survives rotation, what with so much good special energy and healing leaving the format. But with another new set in June, and likely 3 more sets before the year is up, it could come back by the end of 2023. For now though, this is the deck you'll want to play when Scarlet and Violet base set releases later this month. To start, let's focus on the Pokemon you want in the deck. First up, for Blissey V is an easy inclusion. Then, cut the Dunsparce to just 1 copy, you don't need 2. Dunsparce removes Blissey's fighting weakness, so it can come in handy, but it really depends on how the meta shapes up. You'll also want 1 copy of Radiant Greninja, which is 600 credits to craft. You could use something like Radiant Gardevoir or Radiant Serena instead, but Greninja allows you to get an energy in the discard pile while also drawing 2 cards, so it's the best fit. Honestly, Radiant Greninja is arguably the best Radiant card ever made, and you can only have 1 Radiant card in a deck, so once you spend those 600 credits, it's in your collection forever, and it can help a lot of other decks you'll end up building. As I mentioned, it's tough to know what the format will look like post-rotation, but you should get at least 2 copies of Yveltal from Celebrations to deal with any special energy that might show up. They cost 425 credits each. Same with Miltank. You want 2 at 425 credits each, but since Miltank only blocks damage from Pokemon V, and we're entering an era with EX Pokemon, its usefulness will probably lessen, and that's about all you need when it comes to Pokemon. After all, Blissey is your main attacker, and once 3 are knocked out, you lose the game. Because Blissey relies so heavily on energy, we'll go there next. Since there's so few options available post-rotation, you have to take what you can get. This means you want 4 copies of Double Turbo Energy, 4 Lucky Energy to draw cards when you get hit, 4 V-Guard Energy to reduce damage you take from Pokemon V, and 3 Gift Energy to refill your hand when Blissey does get KO'd. Special Energy costs 100 credits each to craft in TCG Live, and I believe only Lucky Energy is in the default free deck, so expect to spend 1100 credits getting the energy you need. And finally, the trainers. Let's start with the items. Since Blissey V wants to survive a hit and heal off as much damage as possible, 4 Switch Cart is a must. Just like Special Energy, every non-holo trainer is only 100 credits each to craft, so a playset of Switch Cart will run you 400 credits. Unfortunately, the deck loses its best healing card in Hyper Potion, so you'll have to rely on 4 Lucky Ice Pop, which you already own. Lucky Ice Pop is great if you're lucky with coin flips, terrible if you're not. 4 Potion are included as well, though they only heal 30 damage each. Next, your balls. 4 Nest Ball is an absolute must, and it only costs 400 credits for a playset. You can craft the Sun and Moon base set Nest Ball now, or wait until the Scarlet and Violet base set one for the new art. If you're having trouble getting energy in the discard pile, you could choose Ultra Ball over Nest Ball. It all just depends on how destructive you want to be, since Ultra Ball forces you to discard 2 cards from your hand to go get any Pokemon. Now the supporters. Although Cheren's Care is still in Standard, you'll want to replace it with Penny, which is coming in Scarlet and Violet base set. Cheren's Care requires the colorless Pokemon to be damaged before it can go back into your hand. while Penny just takes any basic at any time and puts it and all attached cards into your hand. It's great, so get 2. Other supporters you want are 4 Professor's Research, 2 Boss's Orders, and 2 Serena. 2 Zinnia's Resolve can also be super powerful, though it does rely on your opponent having bench Pokemon in play. The Stadium cards are easy. You just want 3 Path to the Peak. They were free with the deck and can really slow your opponent down. An added bonus is that Path to the Peak specifies it shuts down all Rule Box Pokemon, so even EX Pokemon will lose their abilities. Probably the only other stadiums you'd want to consider right now are Lost City, which sends a KO'd Pokemon to the Lost Zone, and Pokestop, which discards the top 3 cards of your deck but puts any item cards in your hand. Personally, I'd stick with Path to the Peak. Finally, we have Tool cards, which are no longer considered items as of March 30th and have their own category. The loss of Cape of Toughness is something that can't be understated. Honestly, I can't decide what the best tool for Blissey is going forward. All of the stone cards have potential since they give Blissey a V-Star power, as does Full Face Guard, but it relies on Path to the Peak remaining in play on your opponent's turn. Then you have Choice Belt and Defiant Band, which can boost your damage by 30. Honestly, I just went with one of what I believe are the best, so put 1 Choice Belt, 1 Defiant Band, and 1 Forest Seal Stone in your deck and see how it goes. Just keep in mind that Forest Seal Stone costs 425 credits instead of the typical 100 credits for a trainer card. And there you have it. For a total of 5,225 credits, you can upgrade your Blissey V deck for the 2023 season, which begins on March 30th. As a reminder, rotation isn't coming to PTCGO, and neither is Scarlet and Violet, so the only way you'll be able to play with the new cards is on TCG Live. Another thing to note is that the current default free decks may rotate on March 30th, so if you haven't played Live yet, do that now. And when new decks are added on March 30th, there's a chance some of the cards you need to craft will be included, so keep that in mind as well. If you have any other suggestions for upgrading Blissey, let everyone know in the comments.